What's up, Fumble fam? I'm Brooke.
And I'm Noelle, and you're listening to Girls Don't Fumble, the #1 sports podcast for NFL Girl Talk.
We sift through all the football news so you don't have to.
Let's get into it.
Our first agenda item, we are recording on a very special day, something that is so near and dear to my heart. Happy birthday, Justin Herbert.
Woo! We love Stan.
We love this man. He's turning 26, which is hard for me to come to terms with because I look up to him and he's legitimately Gen Z.
Yeah.
But for those of you guys who don't know, and I'm assuming you don't know because it's our first episode and this is our first topic, I am a very big Chargers fan, Chargers football. It's been a disappointing fandom, if we're being honest. Next year's our year. But Justin Herbert has been such a fun quarterback to watch. He's the quarterback of the Chargers, just to clarify. He has great hair. He's 6'6", about 236 pounds.
Did you look that up on Wikipedia?
I've been knowing that. I've been knowing his height and weight. I keep tabs on him. And he's very humble. He's very amazing. He's very talented. And I'm really excited for him next year to have a coach that knows what he's doing. Yeah. So to sum it up, happy 26th birthday to our king, legend, gorgeous, gorgeous man, Justin Herbert.
Yes, slay.
Now
I think we should get into some off-season storylines. What do you think?
Let's do it. Hell yeah.
Okay, so this one is quite juicy. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but I just love looking at this once I discovered it. But the NFL Players Association, they basically put out a report card for all of the teams. They just started doing this 2 years ago. And they basically survey all of the team members just to see how satisfied they are with certain types of benefits of the team. So things could be like treatment of families, the head coach, the owners, the food and cafeteria, the weight room, the training staff, the strength coaches. There's just like a bunch of different topics that each of the teams basically get assessed on. And basically the goal of this is just to highlight what teams are doing it right. So some of those positive grades, or identify teams that maybe need some improvement, or overall at the league level, just set best practices and standards per team. I think that this is interesting because we got the report card out. I think it was after the Super Bowl, maybe a few weeks after. And not only did we see an increase in responses from last year versus this year, which is great, because overall, whatever changes, whatever outcomes of these surveys are, hopefully, and the goal is for the teams to make changes to their facilities or to the training staff, etc. So it helps shed some light on what is needed. Here are some of the highlights from 2023. The top teams with the best grades. Number 1, no surprise, the Miami Dolphins.
I just love them.
Yeah.
You can't not be happy watching a Dolphins game.
Yep.
Mike McDaniel, they're playing in Miami. They're on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I would want to be a Dolphin.
I would too, honestly. After
Dolphin.
seeing all of the facilities on Hard Knocks, I'm like, okay, that makes sense completely to me. So they got the number 1 spot, best grade across the league. Great to see. Good for the Dolphins. Second and third place, the Vikings and the Packers. Love that. Don't know too much about those teams, but shout out. It does seem like, the training staff from top to bottom, everyone's really pleased with it. So shout out to the top 3 teams. Now, the juicy part of this is the bottom 3.
Really juicy.
Really juicy.
Some shocking, some not.
Yeah. So the lowest score goes to, for the second time in a row, the Washington Commanders. I think that this just comes to show that there are a lot of changes that need to be made within that team. Obviously, we are curious to see what they're going to do in this offseason, how they're going to continue to build their team. Hopefully, we'll see some improvements because within the club itself, so with the facilities and the training staff, all of that. So we hope to see more from the Commanders. The second lowest score, and this may be shocking to our listeners, is the Kansas City Chiefs.
I did not see this coming.
I didn't either.
Based on knowing nothing other than the fact that Andy Reid is beloved and they've won 2 Super Bowls, I would have put them at least in the top 10.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
The players are not, you've won 2 Super Bowls back-to-back years. Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback and you're not happy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think what brought it down, and this was one of the bigger surprises, is the rating for the Chiefs owner. The lowest it could possibly be.
Clark Hunt.
An F minus.
Bam. F minus.
An F minus, that's not good. You are not passing that class.
That is such a diss. Like, not even an F.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take you down to an F minus.
Yeah. But the thing that did bring him up, though, is I think that their satisfaction with the head coach, obviously, Andy Reid, was quite high.
Yep.
But overall, I don't know how big of a change you can make with an owner, but
the owners are tough, and I think that they're also frustrated because he won't invest in better facilities for them.
yeah, they're the decision makers. Yeah, totally.
You gotta think Kansas City can't be too expensive.
No.
If you're rich in Kansas City, you probably got a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah.
Put it in the facilities. You're telling me that if Taylor Swift wants to visit Travis Kelce at practice,
Yeah.
she's walking into just a disgusting facility? Change it for Taylor. My God. Unacceptable.
Oh, and I feel like we were talking about this earlier. Like, I wonder if the funds of whatever gets upgraded that next year, if it comes from the same of like the fan experience versus what you're investing in your players. Like, I wonder if they really care about like what that fan experience is versus the players. And that's kind of the whole reason why they started this survey is like, let's get some of those funds back to the players because they deserve it. That's why we all watch this game. So I thought that this was interesting.
The fans don't see the facility. Facility's not making money. But now the players' voices have been heard.
Yeah. Money makes the world go round. The last spot, or this third last spot within this report card for 2023, you will be sad to hear is the beloved Chargers.
You guys, I'm not surprised, but I am very sad. And I feel like the Chargers get a lot of hate as an organization. It's a really small fan base. They're from San Diego to LA. They're not even the only team in LA. They're not the favorite team in LA. And it doesn't surprise me that players aren't thrilled to be playing for the Chargers, especially in the 2023 season.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the players. I can try to look and see their owner, what kind of score they got. C+ for the owner. That surprises me because I know a lot of fans absolutely hate the Telesco family, and they or not Telesco, sorry, that's the GM. The
It says with an E.
Spanos family.
Spanos, yeah.
Cut out
Not
the part
an
where
E.
I called it the Telesco family.
I was trying to like
so
make my
embarrassing.
last name with their last name.
The Españos. The Spanos family. They historically have just like not cared about this team, have not invested. Other parts where the Chargers got an F, the treatment of families, no excuse to be treating them badly. Food and cafeteria and locker room, gross. Yeah. But the Rams did not get an F in the locker room. And is it not the same locker room?
I know that they practice somewhere in the valley. I think it's like Woodland Hills or Thousand Oaks is where they practice.
The Rams got a D+ in their locker room. So,
okay.
Well, I don't like the pluses and the minuses. I think just give them don't give
Just
me a
give
D+.
them a hard grade.
It doesn't make me feel any better than getting a D.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you're almost at a C. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm getting fired up on the Rams behalf.
Change the facilities. Chargers if you hear us.
I do have a lot of hope. The Chargers have a new head coach next year, which I'm sure we'll get into more once we're heading into the next season.
Yeah.
But I really hope to see them rank higher because bottom three, that's a lot of angry players that are responding to that survey and saying, hey, get us better food and treatment of our families.
Yeah.
That's not too much to ask.
I mean, there is some hope because there are some teams that did make some pretty big jumps. I don't know exactly what their spots were, but the Jags are 5th now, and I think that they were a pretty low ranking team last year. You don't want to trend downwards, in which the Cowboys did trend down. I'm not sure exactly how many spots, but be like the Jags and move all the way up.
We also saw the Arizona Cardinals had a lot of improvement, especially to their family-friendly facilities and training camp updates.
Yeah, I have been seeing a lot of teams that are like making locker room updates and weight rooms, and we want to see more of that, and that's exactly what this report card is for. So doing the players justice, really. So we love to see it.
just to sum it up, we support women, we support slap fighting, and we support the players getting the training facilities that they deserve. I'll stand on that ballot.
It. Love it.
Okay. One more thing that, of course, is what everyone is talking about this week, the retirement of Jason Kelce and, of course, his speech. So I watched the retirement speech this morning. I'm not joking when I say I got chills. I got choked up. I got emotional.
Yeah.
And I love Jason Kelce. I know everyone tuning into this podcast, I'm sure, loves Jason Kelce. He is so hard not to just absolutely adore. And he's just amazing for so many reasons. Absolutely legendary player, a father, brother to Travis Kelce. Brother-in-law.
And did you
Taylor
see
Swift.
him? Yeah. Did you see him in the audience crying? Travis Kelce.
Oh my God, yeah. No, and
it was really sweet.
These men know how to show their emotions, unlike any other family. It's so sweet. It's so sweet.
Yes.
So let's just get into some highlights of the retirement speech. I also listened to the New Heights recap of the retirement, and Jason just talked about how his body was not performing at the way that he wanted it to perform anymore, and named maybe some elbow injuries. And hearing what he had to say in his retirement speech, he is someone who really, really pushed himself so much and was so strong, so athletic, worked so hard in the weight rooms that I can imagine how frustrating that would be when your body just can't meet you where you want it to be, and you're putting in the effort and you're constantly getting injured and you can't perform at the level that you used to perform at.
Yeah.
I think your body's telling you it's time to retire.
Yeah. And I mean, how old is he? Is he like our age?
36?
Maybe a little older? Okay, that's crazy.
Mid-30s?
I do feel like when you work in any kind of like extreme sport like the NFL, like your body gets put through so much more than like the normal person.
CTE perhaps.
Yeah, it's please get checked. Make sure you're all good there. But yeah, I mean it's crazy to see how, you know, he has had some really great years for it all come to an end, but he's had a great run.
He's had a great run, and in that great run, he has played for 13 seasons. He had 6 playoff runs, 2 of them being Super Bowl appearances. Of course, one was that Super Bowl win in 2018. He also made 7 Pro Bowls, and it all started when he was a 6th-round draft pick.
Okay.
Back in 2011.
Yeah.
Played his entire career with the Eagles, which he had stated was his goal.
Okay.
He had also stated in his speech that growing up in Cleveland, they always saw players leave the city, and it made them really sad. Like, no one wants to stay in Cleveland. So he was really happy to be able to do that for Philadelphia. But just some highlights from his speech. Again, I'm sure we've all seen the clips online. When he gets there, he's in a muscle tee. He said on his podcast, this was just, he opened up his drawer. This was a shirt that he's worn to like practice and has holes in it.
How great though, for every single game, he's like always in flip-flops. Like it doesn't matter how big the game is.
He was
like,
in flip-flops at the retirement as well.
He's wearing cargo pants. He's showing up in his flip-flops. Like get this man to Hawaii because he is ready for vacation.
Get this man's toes on a plane. We've seen too much. And I know too, like one of the heartfelt stories was he was wearing flip-flops, but he had his trainer wrap his ankles because his trainer, who has been his trainer I think almost the entire time on the Eagles, has been battling cancer this last year and hasn't been able to kind of tape him up. So I think he's in remission. So good news, not to like bring you guys down on the podcast. I think it's good. And he was able to show up and wrap his ankles for the retirement. But
strong man.
Immediately when he shows up, he's crying. He's very emotional. He can't even start talking because he's just choked up. But he opens by talking about his absolute love for football. He started playing when he was 12 years old, and he ended up going to the University of Cincinnati.
Shout out Bearcats. The reason why I shout this out is because our producer, none other than Peter O'Toole, went to University of Cincinnati. Go Bearcats. We can talk more about this another day, but that's it. We love it. I think they went to school. They overlapped at some point.
You guys are probably at the same like frat parties together.
Yeah.
Uncle Woody's.
Uncle Woody's. Kelsey's, if you're hearing this. Big fans of Cincy.
We love it.
We love it.
Awesome. The next few things he talked about, draft day. One thing that I found interesting from this was he said that as a 280-pound lineman wasn't good enough.
Oh.
Too small, 280. He said the average is around 315. If you're not 315, you're not getting looked at.
Okay. Wow.
280 not being enough.
Imagine growing up in high school and college and just being able to like eat whatever you want. I'm sure, like, obviously they're some of the most fit people on the planet,
Yes.
but like, damn, you really, the reason for eating is to supplement, like, I need to go to the NFL. I'm going to eat all the potatoes, all of the bread and the cheese.
I need to gain 35 pounds to get to the NFL.
Yeah.
I was actively trying to weigh 0 pounds in high school. It was not good. I can't imagine
Men,
this
women,
being
opposite directions.
just completely being celebrated at 315.
Yeah.
Not something that the women can experience.
Not to continue harping on men's weight.
No, and we'll probably talk about it more in future episodes, but that'll be enough for now. But despite not being a hot ticket item, he was the 6th round draft pick to the Eagles. The one of the coaches of the Eagles wasn't Andy Reid, but I think maybe one of the O-line or training coaches really valued athleticism over weight. Okay. So they picked him.
I love that.
And he talked about getting the call from Andy Reid at home and his dad just like sobbing. So again, another Kelce man just absolutely sobbing. Then he talked about how this really mirrored the experience that Travis Kelce had 2 years later with Andy Reid calling him too. So how poetic is that Andy Reid has welcomed both Kelce brothers into the NFL?
We love that. And we love the invisible string that brings them together.
Isn't that the truth? Amen.
We love it. Oh, I mean, I watched like bits and pieces of it, and you can't help but root for this guy. He just seems like the most genuine person, and him and his whole family. I'm sure that they're going to have an amazing time while he's retired. Can't wait to see all of the new heights that they will be taking.
The new heights. No, he talked about on the podcast today that he wanted to continue podcasting, and that was like what he found as like his next step, which thank God we get more of Jason Kelce. But just a few last highlights. He talked about Nick Foles, the year that they won the Super Bowl, and Nick having a pretty big dick.
Oh, period.
So, that got the girls' attention.
Just kidding.
What that thing do, Nick? That thing did the Philly special, and it was their iconic trick play that helped them win the 2018 Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, of course, he had to mention it. He said on his podcast that he had to text Nick to get approval to talk about his dick in the retirement speech, and his wife actually gave the final approval.
Oh, that's great.
Makes sense.
Okay, she's a writer.
She said, yeah, let him know.
Yeah, exactly.
Same.
Exactly.
Same.
She knows that at the end of the day, like, this is benefiting her because she's like, yeah, that's my man.
That's my man.
That's my man.
That's my man at the Super Bowl. And then he ended the speech talking about just some personal reflections. Of course, he talks about Philadelphia being the city of brotherly love, and Jason Kelce. Nothing without his relationship with Travis. He also gave some tributes to both of his parents. And one of the stories that stuck out to me was that Donna Kelce, our icon Mama Kelce, when she was younger, she wanted to go to college, and her parents both told her, no, you're a woman, you don't go to college. You should go be a receptionist. You should just go find a man to marry for money. The only reason she got to go to college was because her mom convinced her dad that she would find a richer man by going to college.
Okay.
So she goes to college, ends up, of course, graduating, becoming an absolute just banking fiend, works for 40 years in banking, becomes a VP, is making more than double what Jason and Travis's dad makes. And she was the breadwinner of the Kelce family.
Okay.
So I love this for two reasons. Number one, of course, we love to see her just being told that she couldn't do something and absolutely proving everyone wrong and being the breadwinner. Yep. I also love this because, of course, this means that Travis grew up in a home where the woman was the breadwinner.
Oh.
So he is not intimidated by Taylor.
No, he is not.
It works.
He is not shy. And I mean, what better news than none other than International Women's Month and Day.
Mama Kelce, a woman,
yeah,
to be honored during International Women's Month.
Exactly.
Queen.
We love that.
I love it. And then I think, speaking of Travis, we were wondering if his world tour would continue. What do we know about that?
And it did. Not only did we see him in Australia, right? That was like
at the zoo.
At the zoo. We saw him at the zoo doing a lot of dates. But we also were kind of wondering if he was going to make it because we saw that Jason Kelce had his retirement speech earlier this week. And we took a look last night, and it does look like He landed down in Singapore.
He made it to Singapore.
He made it.
I was worried
his
he wasn't going
queen.
to show up because we saw Barry showing up to support Sabrina.
Yeah.
And I thought he can't show up. Travis Kelce, please.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce invented flying out to support the Eras Tour.
Yeah, and he has that PJ too, so.
He's got that PJ.
Right?
I hope so. Embarrassing if he doesn't.
my
Maybe Taylor flew her PJ back for him.
Yeah, she's like, you can borrow mine,
You can
babe.
borrow my jet. It's no worries. No one cares about all of the emissions that come out of my jet.
Yeah. You just got to pay for gas.
So we made it to Singapore. I'm sure we'll be getting a lot of content out of this. I think they were spotted out at a date night, but
cute.
so I'm so happy he's there. I think she also, I don't know if she's been doing this at every concert, but I saw when he was at the show, she did the changing of Karma to Guy on the Chiefs coming straight home to me.
Yes. We saw that.
Is this not how she's doing every show now, or is it only when he's there as like a special occasion?
It's a good question. I've only seen it when he's there in the last few videos I've been.
And I want her to release that song so bad.
Yeah.
I want Travis's version of Karma.
A deluxe version.
Deluxe version.
Yeah, I saw it in Singapore. I'm pretty sure I saw it in Australia too when he was there. Other than that, I'm not sure if she does it every night.
She probably keeps it special. She wants to keep people on their toes.
Yeah.
She never wants to be predictable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
We love to see it.
One more thing. Did you see that Ed Kelce posted on his Facebook wall calling out Bethany Frankel?
What? Wait.
So apparently the drama
Who goes on
is,
Facebook? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, the fathers.
Yes,
the parents.
clearly.
They're
Clearly
still
the
airing out
fathers
their
are still
drama.
there.
So I guess that Bethany had, I don't know, she has a podcast or she posted online something about Taylor and Travis's relationship, which, like, number one, when you're doing that, you're asking for drama, you're asking for attention.
Yeah.
She called them both peacocks, which I think is just like an embarrassing word to use about people, but basically saying they're both loving to be the center of attention, and that's why the relationship will never work. And so who comes to their defense? None other than Ed Kelce. Post the clip on his
Perfect person.
Facebook wall and said, "Who TF is
Are
this
you?"
troll?"
I mean, fair if you're not in the
Love.
Bravo world, right? 'Cause
I
she's
mean,
a housewife.
I'm all for him calling her out. I
Yeah.
mean, it gave the story more attention for sure, but I
Yeah.
just love that his son and his relationship is in the spotlight and someone's saying something negative. So he's like, let me put her on blast on
Yeah.
my Facebook to all of, like, how many friends does he have? 200? They're all going to hear about Bethany.
And obviously, it's a son that's like looking out for, it's a father looking out for his son.
What else is he going to do?
I mean, yeah. What else are you gonna do as a
stand by
dad?
it.
Like, I'd be mad if you didn't. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Dad, stop.
you're embarrassing me on Facebook.
me.
In front of Bethany.
But he made the right move there. Obviously, these are two of the most popular people, at least in America or on the planet, potentially at the moment.
Most powerful couple in the world, I would
Yes,
say.
power couple. Obviously, Taylor's doing a world tour. Travis Kelce just won the Super Bowl. Like, he is probably one of the most famous athletes at the moment. So they can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want.
Don't be a hater and let them live their lives. That's just like a
Yes.
general statement. Like, let people live a little bit.
And people are
how I feel
still
about
trying to
that.
say that they're a PR couple, which is insane to me because Taylor Swift does not need PR.
Yeah.
Yes, she's made the NFL a lot of money, but she makes anywhere she goes a lot of money.
Yeah.
Every city she travels to on her tour helps the economy of that city.
Yeah.
She does not need
does.
to be spending every weekend flying out to the football games for like publicity. She just doesn't. She was
Yeah.
already so on top of the world before she started dating Travis Kelce. So I just don't think, I don't
Yeah.
think she would do it.
Is there a world where she's falling in love and Travis Kelce is doing it for PR? I didn't mean to throw that in there. I didn't mean to. But
There is a world because
there is a world.
men will be men.
Yeah.
We know how men operate. But I invite you to consider the fact of imagine spending that much time with Taylor Swift and not actually falling in love.
Exactly. Yes.
So I don't think if that was the intention, I don't think it's still happening.
And I wonder if that was the intention at the beginning, but he's actually like, oh, this girl is fucking amazing.
like
And
every
of course
rom-com
she
ever.
is. Yeah.
I mean, good luck moving on from Taylor Swift and dating someone better.
goodbye.
You can't.
Never forget those jersey sales that went up after
she's
that
making
first
you money.
game, King. Okay.
And she's just gorgeous, talented, everything. She's getting you flown out to
What
Singapore.
more can you ask for? Similar households being the woman is making more money. He's been there.
He's been there. This is what he's wanted. He's grown up with this.
Yeah.
From Mama Kelce to Taylor Swift. You know men date women like their moms.
Oh, what's it called? The something complex? Never mind. Doesn't matter. Oedipus complex?
Is that what it's called? I don't know. All I know is Napoleon complex, but
what's
Travis, that one? It's like if you're short.
Oh.
That doesn't apply to anyone in this story. No, that's the opposite.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think that's all we have.
That is all we have
Closing
today.
out our topics.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you for listening. I think what we're going to be talking about on our next episode is a little bit more diving into free agency, the draft, maybe a little bit of the combine, some of the uprising stars that we're hoping to see from this 2024 draft. And what you can expect for future episodes. We hope to do some deep dives into our favorite wags, some of our favorite players. And then we're also going to be doing live coverage of the games because that's really what we care about.
And we're so excited.
We're excited for it. And we hope that you'll be with us along the ride.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.